Hello guys, this is Racing Gaming and welcome back. We are back on Vampyr. We are on part 11 and I'm going to go ahead and hit the continue button. And now I'm trying to think where we last left off. If I remember rightly, I had just got into Whitechapel and I ended up getting into the hideout in Whitechapel. Because it was that father, I think it's father and son, where he bloody shot her, tried to shoot him, but ended up hitting the wall. I spoke to those two. I spoke to the lady in the centre that had some sort of like, I don't know, like market selling shit. I spoke to her and then I went to the hideout. So search for Foru Strickland's orders. Now I know that is the level 14 enemy and the level 16 Griffin guy. So what we want to go ahead and do is I want to erase the markers and find and talk to Darius Petrescu. In actual fact, I know for a fact there's enemies in this hideout, but I don't know where. I can't remember where they are. Trying to think. I want to look how much. I've got 875 XP. I'm actually thinking about getting another special ability. Right. So I'm level 10, so I don't think I'm going to be a high enough level to take on that investigation yet. And there ain't no investigation in Whitechapel. That's the only one there, so the only thing to do is go and do the main mission, which is what I'm gonna do now. Unless there's other people to talk to which I'll only talk to them like if I see them in the street, like if I go past them. That's that woman I talked to just now. I'm not gonna like go out and go travelling to look for people.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Do a little bit of eavesdropping.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nithercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
New hint for Darius
I must talk to the
Petresco.
journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Find the inhabitants in Whitechapel. Find Richard Nivercourt. Find Clayton Darby. Hopefully I'm going to bump into a couple of people as well, because let's go and check the citizen list. Because the hospital's all done. The docks is barely any. And all these are done. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 people left to do in Whitechapel. Oh, I think we've found a new person. 2 new people.
Don't be afraid.
Let's go ahead and talk to them.
Welcome, sir. Please take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
Right, he's got 2,000, but his mesmerised level is 4.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
She's just trying to help. She is an excellent nurse. Sure, blame them migrants. She is a nurse. I'm gonna go to the bottom
she's
one.
trying to help her fellow immigrants. Why would that make her a villain?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craniu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free. I offered to sell it for a fair cut, but no. Miss Crane wanted to play the quiet saint.
A new hint for Dorothy Crane. Now your life in London. Notice anything out of the ordinary? How's business?
How is business around here?
Business? I had no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of business once and for all.
Joe Peterson, new event, a new hint for him, and a new hint for Barrett Lewis.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
Well, you mean besides the epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless pit, and no sign of the bottom yet.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Oh, new investigation. I might have to do that instead of doing the main mission, actually, because I like to get all the side quests and, like, as in this game, side quests and investigations. So I tend to like to do all that before doing the main story. Because investigation it gets me a decent amount of shillings, and I think it gets me some XP as well. I'm not going to trade with them.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Lewis.
In actual fact, how many shillings do I actually have? 179. I'm actually going to save up for that shotgun that Milton has back at the hospital.
Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off!
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson to some, but Colossus Joe to most. And I don't remember asking for your service, sir.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around here.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
Right, this guy is definitely getting bit.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want. And
Whatever
sometimes
his mesmerised level that is.
Sod off.
What is it actually? Only level 3? I expected it to be something like 4 or 5.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Yep, and Clay Cox used to be their leader, and now it's his wife, so... Clay Cox is already going, so he's definitely going, because he's linked to the gang. You are a criminal, you could have refused. Survival is a natural law. I've only got 1 out of 4 hints, and he's already on 1950, so he could get to like 4,000, so... I'm gonna go with that, because I don't want to fail the hint.
Become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
New hint for Joe Peterson. 2 more left. And another one for Barrett Lewis. I'm gonna have to go back to talk to Barrett Lewis. Was that your life in London? Yeah, it was. Right, nothing else for him.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Back to this Lewis guy. Wrong way. Did I do Joe Peterson? Oh, motherfucker.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
I don't want you. I want Barrett Lewis.
Fancy buying something, sir?
You never lose your focus, do you?
Let's have a look. Nothing there. Ah, here we go.
Joe Peterson. He's the villain here, isn't he? But you seem to know each other.
I've known Joe for years. I saw him box once or twice. He was a friend then. But these days, he's just another thug.
And no one has ever stood up to this thug.
Nobody would be fool enough to stand against the Wet Boot Boy.
What can you tell me about Mr. Peterson? Besides his behavior toward you, obviously.
Colossus Joe was a decent boxer, good one even. But after his wife passed away, he found every excuse to stop training. Just wanted to pick fights with everyone.
It's never easy to find a new path in life, especially after the loss of a loved one. But crime is certainly not the best option.
We've all had some rough times, ain't we? But most of us don't use our fists to see us through.
Right, I think that's everything done for Lewis.
Bye for now, Mr. Lewis.
I know it's hard to believe.
Find Clayton in the area.
Let your guard down, sir.
There's a new person up there. And no idea what this is in here.
Hello, young man. I'm Dr. Reed, and I would like to ask you a few questions. May I enter, please?
Sorry, no, sir. My father does not like people entering our house, you see.
Your father is worried about you, boy. He asked me to look for you.
So my father actually worries about me then? Okay then. Come on in. I'm Harry, by the way. Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
I'm going to go ahead and talk to him, because obviously he's going to be another person. But before I do that, if there's anything to collect, I'm going to go ahead and collect it.
So, may I ask you a few questions?
I'm not bothered. What could be worse?
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
Yes, I know her. She came here to examine me when I was very sick. She said I should go out more.
Oh, he's level 1. But he's only got 350 XP. Obviously, the higher the mesmerized level, the higher the XP they're gonna have.
How do you feel?
I'm fine. I mean, it's not easy every day, but I'm fine. I'm just tired of being sick all the time. If only I could be tough, like... Well, you know.
Speaking of which, what can you tell me about your father?
My father is an idiot who makes idiot things. That's all I have to say.
Forgive my bluntness, young man, but you don't seem happy living in Whitechapel.
Why should I? I never wanted to come here in the first place. It was my father's decision. And look around you. Does this look like a nice place to live?
New hint for Harry Peterson. He only needs one more.
This place is awful, I agree. But does that not mean your situation can only improve?
That's exactly what my father says. Harry, you should be grateful for what you've got. But I wasn't even consulted when we moved here.
If life here is so terrible for you, why don't you just leave this place? Have you ever spoken to your father about it?
I don't go outside. It terrifies me so. I went outside once without my father noticing and I saw terrible things. Bloody and frightening things.
So that's why you stay at home all day? For fear of the epidemic?
I'm not afraid of disease or death, Dr. Reed. It's the living I'm afraid of.
So, was that your life in London? Yeah, it was. So, personal questions. These are all locked. So, about Barrett Lewis and your father.
Your father and Mr. Lewis used to be good friends. What happened, Harry?
I was young then. I don't remember Mr. Lewis ever coming back again after my mother died. Or was it after my father started bullying him? I don't know.
Did you talk to Mr. Lewis not guilty of your father's actions?
Have you tried speaking to Mr. Lewis about it?
I don't go out often, but yes. And he scolded me and told me to leave him alone. I guess my father frightens him too much.
But you are not responsible for your father's actions.
Am I not? Dad always says that he joined that gang for my safety. So if I wasn't born, people wouldn't be worrying about Colossus Joe.
Right, that is Harry done.
Goodbye,
I'm gonna
young
go and search the house.
Take care of yourself.
Even my dreams are soaked with glue.
Because there could be goodies, and I've already seen one there. Right. There's a big ass chest over there, but what is the betting? It's going to be locked.
It's locked.
What a surprise! Whoa, what was that? Oh, shillings. John's job refusal letter. New hint for Joe Peterson. Professional vampire hunters. That's it for this house.
Is there only pain and suffering in this world?
I'm gonna speak to Joe again because I got new. I think
You
I
again?
got 2 hints for him.
What do you want this time?
He only needs 1 hint left. Why keep on working for a gang? Harry's not happy living in Whitechapel.
Harry doesn't seem happy living in Whitechapel. Why did you make him come here?
I've always put my son's interests above everything else, whatever he may think. Our house is small but affordable. The walls are thin, but the door is solid.
You really love your son, don't you, Mr. Peterson?
He's my pride and joy. Even if he hates me for the choices I make and pushes me buttons more than he should.
No regrets at all, not afraid you could be arrested.
Do you have any regrets?
Only one. Not to have my beloved wife by my side. She died when Harry was little. My sweet Jane. She gave the boy confidence.
Since the criminal nature of your job means you could be arrested, are you not afraid of what would happen to your boy if you were?
No one will ever take my son away from me. If that ever occurred, I'd hunt the bastard down and rip off his head with my bare hands.
Why do you keep on working for the gang, Joe? You know it doesn't suit you.
It's true, I hate this job. And I know I made some bad choices, but I'm a wet boot boy now. And people won't forget it.
You could leave tomorrow. Start another life in another town.
That's easy for you to say, Doctor. We are poor. My son's weak. And there's no way he'll endure another disappointment.
That is Joe Peters all
Goodbye,
done.
Mr. Peterson.
Right, there was a stairs, some stairs, where there was a guy. Here they are. So there's a guy right up here.
Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A scientist? You are much more lost than I thought, my son.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like the liberal ideas of nurses, but I especially abhor that Nurse Crane you mentioned.
So, you're not exactly a fan of Florence Nightingale's work. But nurses are essential for modern healthcare.
Nuns should be the only women allowed to take care of male patients. It's obvious only they have the necessary moral fiber.
Why do you hate Nurse Crane more than other nurses?
Before coming to London, she was a member of the communist resistance in her country. That's what happens when you let a woman get involved in politics.
New hint for Dorothy Crane. She must be getting close to all her hints now. And Tobias Whittaker's got 4 to get.
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them can't see the plain truth.
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you ask me. But what do I know? Blinded by science as I am.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you? Answers about the Armageddon about to strike the city. Answers about the hidden truth.
I am. But the answers I seek are based on facts, not superstition.
Let's do that again and try the other one.
What do you mean?
Also,
Quite a...
but you...
Well, I suppose I can spare a few minutes listening to your so-called truth.
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimating epidemic. But let me tell you that this so-called Spanish flu is just the beginning of the end.
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing itself, corrupting the flesh and the heart of men. With my own eyes I have seen them, those minions from the abyss.
I've heard enough. What is your plan? Let's go with what is your plan.
Really? And what would be your answer to this biblical threat?
We must fight the disease before this legion outnumbers us. But not with scalpels and microscopes. No.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
Another hint for Tobias. Oh, first hint for Tobias. What's his level? 5. I'd imagine his XP to be probably 6,000. I'm gonna go with, or maybe 5,000. Maybe the level they are, that's the total you get. Because it seems the level 1s get 1,000, so that's what I think it is. The levels to say like it's 5, it'll be 5,000. I am more lost than you thought. How exactly will you cleanse the city?
Tell me, Tobias, what exactly is your plan concerning the cleansing of this city?
God will recognize his own. More than once this city has risen from the ashes, hardened and purified by the flames.
This is the 20th century, science is our only hope, but where do you put the limit?
Fire is just the instinctive answer of a caveman facing something he does not understand. This is the 20th century.
Your lack of faith is predictable. But my task is to convince rational minds like yours to see the light. This is God's will.
You're mad and dangerous. You're nothing but a soulless butcher. A small-time Torquemada. The Savonarola of Whitechapel.
My son, if you think salvation is a free gift, go listen to the lies of that pompous fool, Joseph.
Joseph, a fool?
Vicar Larrabee of St. Mary's Church. While he continues preaching his fraudulent redemption, more and more people die in the streets.
Another hint for Tobias, that's 2 out of 4.
Have you any friends? Any family left in these terrible times?
No. But I have a disciple I see as my son. He is so devoted. I send him to preach the good word in the heart of this corrupted city.
Where did you send him? You sent him on some preaching crusade.
You sent him on some preaching crusade during the epidemic.
As a true believer, Samuel will fear no evil while he walks through the valley of the shadow of death.
Where did you send him?
I sent Samuel to the Stonebridge Cemetery, where the pestilence and evil grows night after night.
New investigation! And I think that's this guy done, so...
I've had enough for tonight. Goodbye.
Right, if I only had 15 more bloody XP, I could go and do some upgrades.
The wars of men should not be your main concern. The disease.
Let me go this way. Actually, because I think there's a woman. What's up here? Oh, nothing. I'm sure there's a woman to talk to over this way. New hint for Camellia. Oh, that does 25. Actually, that woman, if I remember rightly, she doesn't speak. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go on the map. There's these two. Which actually, to get that to that guy, you have to go round the church, because if you go here, there's a gate that's locked, so you gotta go round. But I am gonna go all the way down here, to the right and then to the left. So I'm gonna go and do some upgrades and then wrap the video up here. Because the next video I might go and do that investigation that had that level 14 and 16 Griffin guy. Oh, let me talk to this woman quickly.
Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling, but I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor, Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick, though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Looking for Dorothy
Do you know Nurse
Crane.
Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothea Crăciunescu. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
What level is she? 4, so she probably has a maximum of 4,000 XP.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed, or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
Your line of work has many health risks. What about your client's health?
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
Lock, so...
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
New hint for Christina Popper. 1 out of 4. That was your decision to tell your body I don't judge you. You should try to find another job.
I'm sure you could have found another job, perhaps less lucrative. Maybe you should try again.
And when exactly was the last time you looked for a job? Or worried about the rent, or what, or when you were going to eat?
Okay. That's her done.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
Right, I'm actually going to go and do my upgrades probably in the hospital, because wherever you do the upgrades, say if I did it in the hospital, it affect the hospital district and it won't affect the others. Where because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people already bloody ill in here, and it's already at 76%, where the hospital is at 96%, and she's already recovering, and so is he, so it'll be better to do the upgrades in the hospital. And not only that, well, don't want to zoom in. Investigations. This investigations is right there by the dock, so it's close to the hospital, so I'm better off going quickly back to the hospital to do all the upgrades. I think I remember how to get back to hospital from here off by heart actually, and it helps going the right way. Because I can now get 2 600 abilities if I wanted, or I can get 1 600 and 2 300, so I could get 4 300s. Actual fact, I gone wrong way already. It's back up this way. Here we go. Gate has been unlocked. This is the right way, right? Yes, it is. So it's literally straight. Just keep going straight forward. I think I know my way back to the hospital from here now, though, so. I will deal with that scout when I next come back to here, because I'm going to be a higher level. But first, before I do abilities, I'm going ahead and doing this. I probably should craft a few fatigue. I'll do the rest in the next video. Right, let's have a look at the upgrades for this hacksaw. Don't have enough. What about the Priven stake? I need one more tiny common handlebar. Oh no, because I was saving my money up for the shotgun, wasn't I? I was going to go and buy some upgrades off Milton, but I'm saving. Because I want that better shotgun. What level? Level 3, so I'm looking at level 4. 3 good trigger parts. I'm not sure if I could do the shotgun. No, because I need 3 common trigger parts. Anything to recycle? Nice. Abilities left. Right. I was thinking about getting another aggressive. Oh, I could get an ability, an ultimate. Because I always do this over here, so I'm thinking about starting to do an actual attack. What's a defensive? You have a blood barrier. You have 1 hit to sword, 2 seconds. In actual fact, I'm gonna go and get another aggressive. And that's all I've actually got enough for. %, nice. A lot of them's actually got most of their hints completed. Before I end the video, actually, quickly, I am gonna see if it's equipped. Yeah, I can now press RT to do the shadow mist. So I've now got a blood one and a shadow one, so that is going to make me much more powerful. So I'm going to wrap the video up here, and I will see you guys in part number 12 of Vampyr.